Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nordic Championship. I'm Hitpro and he's Orcs, and we're getting ready to go into our fourth and final game of the day and the week here as we are rounding out our second round of the round robin with Bifrost versus Hillerød. Now, these two teams are both tied currently in the standings, so the winner of this will lock themselves permanently, well, not permanently, securely into third spot without the other team contesting them. And for me, I'm really favouring Bifrost here. They've been able to take down Team Singularity and Vipers. How are you feeling about it, Orcs?
I'm favouring Hillerød. Hillerød on a 3-win streak. I think they're on their upswing. They've been looking good. They've managed to beat out, I know Orlando on the lower end, but they beat out Hybrid as well. They beat out Nordic, despite the fact Nordic was sort of getting their stuff together. I do think it's going to be a close one, though. I think you can definitely argue either way. But right now, I think Bifrost's biggest issue is the inconsistency. Because, yes, they've taken down Singularity and Vipers. And they were the only team to take down Vipers who weren't Singularity. And the only team to take down Singularity. So, huge achievements in that regard. But it just hasn't been consistent. Despite the fact they've managed to do that, they haven't managed to... They should be higher up in the standings, you would think. And they've been dropping wins here and there. I think Hillerød, this is a chance for them to shake things up because on week one, it was Bifrost who won this one out, but it was very close. It was Hillerød were massively ahead with a composition with 4 melee champions, and they were playing into Orn, Vigar, Morgana, and they messed one team fight up. They essentially just played into those champions, and then Takeset picked up a ton of gold because it was on Draven, won the game off that. So they come in with a different idea here. They can definitely take this one. But a lot of it's going to come down to draft and sort of execution on that. And I think Bifrost, more than any team in the league right now, have shown so much versatility. The willingness to try a lot of different things, a lot of different styles. Sometimes it worked extremely well. Sometimes not so much.
All right, well, we are now into that pick and bans. All the bans are done. It's the Soraka, the Karthus, Aphelios, Orn, Sona, and the Jarvan taken away. Takeset's going to get his first pick onto that Misfortune for Bifrost, and Hillerød now looking to answer out. With the Senna now being nerfed, you didn't have that kind of trio that we had the last time these two teams played up versus each other. It's just the Aphelios and the MF who are sitting quite comfortably in that S tier. There are things like the Varus that have been creeping their way up, especially here in the Nordic Championship. We're seeing more and more play of that champion, so maybe they want to opt for that, but we'll see what Hillerød want to lock in. For now, going for something flexible, picking up the Syndra.
Early Syndra coming out, which means that, as you said, flexibility in that pick, so you can sort of keep things open until the later stages. Potentially by threatening that bot lane, you can leave your AD carry pick till later in the draft, obviously, because I feel like Bifrost, if they threw second round bans towards AD carry, a little bit wasted. The question's going to be, what do they round that out with? I think a jungler here would be pretty solid, securing something for Flipper. But instead, potentially just looking towards Lockerdun with that set.
We saw Lockerdun play this, especially at the beginning of the Nordic Championship as well. He was enjoying this set, so that's the pickup for them. What did Bifrost have in answer? We've seen a couple of times like Aatrox is getting picked up into the set matchup. There are a few things available. I mean, the main thing with set is you just walk away from him. That's kind of how you play into it. And that is Fiala's Riven. This thing has been banned away so many times from him. Now he's got his hands onto it. How do we like this matchup into the set?
I think it's pretty solid because you can potentially with Riven, you can dash and you can play through him. Set likes to max his Haymaker. He can't hit you with that ever if you're playing correctly on Riven because you can just dash through him. And then when you get up in his face, Set doesn't actually do nearly as much damage as a Riven does in terms of burst potential when you have that ult up. And with Shackle on the Lee Sin as well, I think you can just put a lot of attention towards Fiala and he'll take over this matchup.
All right, well, that's the Skarner there for Flipper.
Quick answer, but it does mean nothing being picked up for bot lane yet, although that could be a Flex Syndra, of course.
Yeah.
So you go in the second rotation.
Well, they could just look to ban away things like the Thresh, the Tom Kench if you're Bifrost, and then almost...
Could, but I would, personally, I'd want to target... Oh, yeah, but yeah, I think Thresh would be a massive one because it works really well in tandem with the Skarner.
Exactly.
I think for Hillerød, though, you want to target the mid lane, potential picks that can cause issue for Sloth, Diana being one of them, potentially LeBlanc in theory, but I feel like that's not necessarily the thing Energy would bring out usually.
All right, well, Bifrost, it's over to them. What they want to ban away. We would like to see this Thresh because if it is a flexible Syndra, Thresh goes so well with her because it gives her safety.
The Skarner as well, the combo.
The Skarner combo is also, disgusting. So for now, just banning away the Kiana. I'm not completely sold on the fact that that is not going to be Syndra bot lane. So they take that away. Now Hillerød looking to ban away something of their own. Again, we expect this to most likely be a pinch into that mid lane pool. They might want to take away something else, but actually they are just going to ban away the Azir. Don't want to give that over.
Something that outranges the Syndra if it does end up going in the mid lane, but also quite a safe pick. Hard for the Skarner to ever really get on top of not just the Azir, but any team fight where the Azir is obviously there and can use the Emperor's Divide. So I think it's a good denial in that regard. Bifrost, though, I think Thresh makes a lot of sense here, but they could go in a different direction.
All right, well, they're thinking it down. They are going to ban away the Aurelia here. So
Targeting slot, this sort of suggests they expect this Syndra to go in the bot lane, or at least they're trying to remove that possibility by banning away mid laners. I feel like for Hillerød, you could just take the Thresh in this situation. I feel like it's a decent blind, and I think it sets you up to go whatever you want in terms of that flex.
Yeah, that's
between
the key
Syndra
thing.
going bot mid.
Is even if you don't send the Syndra bot lane, Thresh is still fine. A lot of the AD carries do suffer with kind of mobility issues, but one that doesn't is going to be that Ezreal. So you can see Bifrost now hovering the Yuumi, kind of almost just kind of calling them out, because you're not going to go with the Yuumi MF lane. For now, they're looking for something to put in the mid versus this Syndra. Something that can deal with that. We'll see what energy wants to pick up here. He's not going to do it, but I really want him to.
Yeah, playing with the hearts. Ultimately, just going to go with the Bard for the support. So something that, because Bard has so much auto-attack damage, if you do play Ezreal Yuumi and Bard Misfortune walk up on you, I mean, they can easily get lane priority, which Bard uses well to roam, but also if they both auto-attack Ezreal, you just never win that trade.
Yeah.
Ever. At all. So a strong pick in that regard. It's also not reliant on hitting CC on the Ezreal. Obviously, you can land that stun, but you can just out-trade him irrespective. And as you're looking towards that Orianna, which is safe blind, we often see picked up, actually moved away to that Karma, so facilitating his team, and this is something Energy does tend to do a lot. Big on the Lulu pick, we saw them take that, and this essentially gives them a lot of movement speed to engage with, a lot of move forward power, and then also a pretty strong scaling element later in the game, because Karma, although it damage falls off, a utility never really does. And then for Hillerød, gotta see what they're gonna round out their composition with.
It would be a little hesitant to pick up the Yuumi because of the reasons you were saying. So actually, they do go for that Thresh we were talking about all the way back in bans.
I feel like they could have just picked that in the first rotation and then still threatened the flex of the Syndra, is the only thing I would say. Although maybe concerned about what Bifrost could pick into it. But I don't think there are many matchups that Bifrost could take that would be necessarily bad for the Thresh. Yeah. Other than maybe like a Zyra would be the thing you're concerned about. But that's still got vulnerabilities. Either way, this is where we end up now with the draft.
How are you feeling about these comps? Talk to me. So what are Bifrost looking to do? They've got that Riven top lane. Are they going to play towards there with Shackle, or is it really going to be about energy, making sure Take Set is just buffed up and running through the team?
Well, that's in the later stages, but I think in the early stages, Shackle has a choice. I think top or bot are both viable. You lean towards top lane, you can definitely set up Fiala to be strong. And then when Dragon becomes more of an objective to be contested, you can look towards bot lane, start securing that, rotating to pressure that. For Hillerød, it's a little bit more tapered. You're not going to have that priority in the bot lane, which is a big thing that you're going to have to work with. You can play heavily around mid lane though. Syndra got great setup. You can look to counter gank in the top lane. And then you really start to come online when you hit level 6. When you have the ultimate from Syndra available, when you have the ultimate from Skarner, big tools that you can make use of. And then in team fights, I feel like the setup you want to have is you want to be threatening the backline. You want to be looking towards getting on top of this Misfortune and not letting her just sit there and just fire off damage. Alternatively though, you can just drag someone away. If Riven oversteps, you can just sort of peel back and pick her off. I feel like there's more versatility in team fights for Hillerød, whereas for Bifrost, it's kind of just group and make use of the Karma shields together. But I guess we'll see how it plays out. I think early, both junglers have agency, but obviously Shackle's going to start sooner, so I'd like him to sort of get off the mark quickly and start to impact the lanes, particularly if you can assist Fiala from minute 1. That can set him up to be in a good position, because we've seen him before in the Riven take over that matchup in the top lane. And there's potential to do that here, because if you're stronger than the set, it's very easy to force a fight on him because he's not mobile, and then you can very easily dodge away from his Haymaker, which is a huge amount of his power budget when he maxes it. And if he's unable to ever hit that on you, there's no real way he matches you in trades.
Well, there was a quick pause, just sorting out some headset issues, some audio issues on the side of Hillerød, but already sorted out, so be heading onto the Rift nice and shortly. And I'm just itching to get going because this game is the first one we've had that really means something here at the Nordic Championship as we've hit into this second stage of the round robin. As we're on to the Rift, Bifrost taking on Hillerød. This is the battle for third.
It comes down to Bifrost, a team who can challenge the top teams in the league, or Hillerød, who are on a win streak at the moment. It's a pretty big clash here, pretty hyped for this one. I think drafts as well haven't particularly given either team a massive disadvantage in any area. And a lot of it's going to come down to setup and how they play it.
Well, an invade coming down by Bifrost. Just trying to get some vision down. Flipper's on the other side of the map though, so Bifrost is just going to head over and clear out these shrines and head back into their jungle.
Always kind of look for those ones, especially on the back of Karma. That Mantra Q, super good at just poking someone out and the slow, potentially threatening a summoner spell needing to be burnt. You can see bot side leash coming in for Bifrost. That suggests that we could see Shackle pathing up towards that top side and offering some assistance to Fiala in that lane matchup.
Alrighty, well. Laners will be going up. We do want to keep our eye on this top lane, see how this goes. Obviously, Fiala at level 1 is going to have a very, very solid time. Not when you miss all of your melee creeps, though. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, not the best start.
It's so easy not to do that as well. You just press Q. You, like, mistimed it by, like, just a little bit.
It's just a mental edge. He's like, I don't even need these melee creeps to win lane against you. Lockett actually going for a pretty solid trade there, getting up in the face of Fiala. And remember, the set does have a lot of passive regen to favor him. And actually, Fiala, this was meant to be your counter pick, dude. Yeah, I hyped this matchup up, but he's actually just got trashed there. Riven.
He's got 1 minion.
Riven, you want to play around the mobility. You want to have that the dash available in your E.
There you go.
Yes, you can use that to dodge away from the Haymaker. You want to be able to use the stun when you get up in the face. Basically, you just want to wait for level 3. And Fiala kind of got beaten around before then. Does have health potions to kind of mitigate that, but ultimately, Lockett got a solid start here. But this could set up for a gank from Shackle.
Yeah, it could do. Maybe it was all the great bait.
He missed those CS on purpose.
Every single move was calculated, meticulously planned out weeks in advance.
So what's actually happened is Flipper, he started on his red, and then he sort of looped back after getting his blue, so he's actually on the top side of the map. This means that if a gank does come in, there's potential for a counter, and things could go really bad if that happened. Now, because I'm going to contest the Scuttle,
Solid ward.
Priority is in favor of Energy right now, so he's moved over sooner, but he's actually got stunned out.
Don't know if that's going to be enough for him, though. Tries to get himself a root off. Does follow up here. Shackle jumping into Flipper. Flipper's low. Shackle jumps in forward, finding that first blood. 1 more Q is all he needs. He's unable to get it. Flipper flashes away, and now Lockton. He just kind of stepped up there. Gets rooted, gets followed up onto. That's going to be the Haymaker coming down. Energy is not going to find anything, and that's what Fiala was doing. He got into his head by missing those minions and finds first blood.
I'm not sure that was a play, but ultimately the end result is Bifrost coming out ahead. And Flipper, we talked about how the Skarner wasn't really in a great position to contest in the early levels, straight up with the power of the Lee Sin. Energy had priority critically, and Flipper used his stun on him, but the Mantra W gave a massive heal to Energy, who's never really threatened there, and as a result, able to turn around. And now Fiala putting a bit of hit on this matchup, but then
he could have flipped the other side of him there.
Yeah, he takes a Haymaker to the face. Not the best play. And Energy... Okay, a little bit oopsie-daisy.
Well, a series of misplays have been taking place here as Lockton is actually getting ganked, just helping Fiala kind of push this wave in favor. Lockton does come down, and Flipper's used the Predator. Looking to see if he can close in here. Fiala's able to jump away, though.
Yeah, which... They can't shove it in completely, but there's only the casters left, so it's not exactly a strong freeze. Yeah, some interesting plays coming out.
Yeah, a few questionable decisions being made, but you got to remember this game has, you know, a lot on the line. These are the last 2 tied teams we've got. Ow. Double up.
Ow.
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 You know, I didn't physically feel that, but I did at the same time.
I think everyone who's leaned against an MF has felt that.
Yeah.
Feels that when they see the
It's one
damage.
of those things that, you know, you watch something that's fictional and it still makes you cringe.
It's like, it's just when you come back in the lane and she has a BF sword and she double ups once and you're like, oh, guess I have to recall again.
There's the era of lethality MF as well. But just everything hurt early.
Yep. Don't remind me.
Luckily, we're on crit MF, which also everything hurts fairly early.
Yeah. But then when she hits late game, her ult does 6 million damage. So
Yeah, that's the difference maker. Now, Fiala got a little bit of a scrap with Lockerdon, but like you said, the grit just means he's able to heal up.
Doesn't want to go too deep as well into that because obviously the mini wave was stacked in Lockerdon's favor. For now, though, Hillerød don't want to get some pressure on the bot side. So reset has come in from take set for the BF sword, but it was a little bit later than Mokox's reset. Obviously waiting for more gold. And as a result, Hillerød able to get control over this dragon area.
I feel a little bit unwilling to fight there. Lockerdon actually does keep landing these haymakers. Fiala not really using the mobility on the Riven to dodge away on the true damage part of it. Or the bonus damage part of it. It is true damage.
He's down in farm quite a bit at the moment. Partially from those minions he missed, but not all because of that.
Oh, there you go. Fiala dodging away, getting himself a stun off. Actually uses the Blade of Broken Exile. Wind Slash comes down. And now, Pedersen being chased out by Flipper. Takes it's going to look to try and punt that damage in. Trying to chase up for more. Flipper's burning low. That's the scatter of the week. Pedersen gets himself one in return. It's a 1-for-1.
Ignite, I guess, ticked away on Flipper. Takes that, stepping up way too far there to greed for the kill. And ultimately, the quicker roam coming down from Sloth ends up going in the favor of Hillerød. More farm denied from Takeset. He's starting to fall behind in this matchup. Sloth is up in mid lane, and a big discrepancy in the top lane for Lockerdon. And the really amazing thing about that is Fiala had TP, so he could potentially TP bot lane and set that up, but he was low on HP, wasn't in position to do so, and as a result, Bifrost unable to use that advantage, and he's just going to he just TP'd back to lane.
Yeah, he would have lost even more CS if he TP'd bot lane.
Pretty far down in terms of farm.
Yeah, very far down.
He picked this matchup on his signature champion. And maybe he's just saying, after I missed those 3 melee minions, game's over.
Yeah. We've all had top laners that, you know, break that easy.
I mean, Riven mains in particular.
There's not a lot that separates them from Yasuo players on that front.
Yeah, slightly better, but not much.
Who is the worst? Who are the worst players? Because I'll tell you, it's actually not Yasuo players. They're bad.
Who do you think is worse?
Either Shaco or Talon players.
I don't actually think they're that bad, to be honest.
Oh, man. My experience with Shaco players are their cheese works and they're all chatting the whole game about how good they are. The cheese doesn't work and they're flaming their team. It's a similar thing for Talon. Obviously, Talon, not as cheesy, just kind of kills you at level 2.
I mean, I hate Talon because he perma-roamed bot lane. But, you know.
Yeah, I saw that game you played. That was rough. You won, though.
Yeah.
And he had like 24 kills.
Yeah. Sonya's broken. Broken item. Looks like Dragon being set up for by Hillerød. Not really too much that can be done to contest. Blue's actually been handed over to Energy, so Hillerød essentially just picked that one up for free. Bifrost, though, they have the Herald and they're looking to apply some pressure top. Kick is available. Lockerdon oversteps, but I think you have to suspect this.
It's such a big wave as well.
Bifrost was, Fiala was standing up in front of the wave, and that kind of hinted, why would he be doing that if he didn't have backup?
Yeah.
And he did. And so nothing will actually come from that, and the reset just comes out from Shackle. Potentially, he's going to move towards his bot side camps, and he still has quite a bit of time left on that Herald. Ultimately, the trade in terms of Dragon for Herald, I feel like it depends how much you make of the Herald as to whether it favors the team who picked that up or not. Right now, Flipper. Got to be a little bit careful here.
Yep, well, Flipper actually does get the lantern off. It's not quite enough.
Yeah, can't pull him that far.
Time's out in time.
Bar just gets stuck on the wall.
Meanwhile, Lockerdon does get himself just dodged away by Fiala there. Could have been a lot worse for Fiala. Now this Riven lane is starting to go a little bit better for Fiala.
He's got him farm.
He's got himself a cooldown reduction to work with, and now just trades in, dodges out. I don't know if he actually dodged that one.
He dodged the true damage, but not the physical damage. So it's less, but still a lot.
A lot of grit stacked up.
Obviously, if you're playing up against, say, an Ornn as a set, and you miss the true damage, it really sucks, because it's mitigated by all his armor. But Fiala on a Riven doesn't have a ton of armor, so not too much.
Use the Tempered Fate here.
He has flash.
May just get caught out. Has to flash away. Shackle can chase with the kick, but
that'd be ambitious.
That'd be very, very risky. Sloth will take himself an empowered Inner Flame from Energy.
Consider how much damage that did, the Inner Flame. That Energy has 0 AP. I mean, he has the Doran's Ring and the Dark Seal, but Merc Treads Rush to mitigate the stuns, and they're getting bullied out a bit here. They will just throw it on the Herald to get some damage on the mid tower. Now, mid a pretty important one in terms of setting up control off the map, but ultimately not too impactful in terms of getting gold, because it's hard to take down. So, like, if you do prioritize that mid lane tower with a Herald, you realistically aren't going to take it anytime soon. Too short up a lane. Sloth has too good wave clear, so it doesn't really set you up to get that first tower blood.
Does get a fair amount of gold, though, over the Energy and to Shackle, who's picking that gold up. But so far, it's been a bit quieter this early phase as Fiala getting jumped onto. Facebreaker comes down. Fiala actually does pop the broken wings there, takes the true damage, throws out a wind slash in return. Fiala kind of misplaying that a little bit.
Lockerdon just winning that one out because he'll regen thanks to his passive. He still has his ult available as an advantage, and he's just waiting for Fiala's ultimate timeout so the extra AD isn't there anymore. And just use that passive regen, and yeah, now he's going to run up.
Misses out on that Facebreaker, luckily for Fiala. Now, bot lane, we haven't really talked too much about the going on in bot lane. There's been a lot of kind of attention and attempts in the bot lane, but for the most part, we haven't really hit on these AD carries. Mox was able to find that shutdown onto, well, not that shutdown, but that kill onto Take Set, because Take Set greedily trying to chase for a kill. Might have to hold my thoughts here, because once again, we see the Lantern combo come down, and this time, Pedersen will fool Take Set. Going up versus the Ezreal here, dodging away on some of that damage, but with the True Shot Barrage, with Flipper predatoring towards him, this could be very dangerous. Has to flash away as Flipper taking some tower shots. Take Set is dodging out on everything, and now there's a teleport coming in. It looks like the fight is on. Shackle trying to close that gap. Energy jumps forward. Teleport to respond here. They're trying to see if they can turn it back around. A Sloth goes for the Scout of the Week, doesn't quite find anybody.
Yeah, as that happened, I was looking at how Fiala's TP was a couple of seconds away, and I'm like, oh wait, it's a Karma TP. Probably not the person who's that strong at making the flanks, but speaking of Fiala, again getting roughed around a bit.
Oh. He's got to dodge those true damage parts. I mean, he's going to base this point. He has teleport, but I really don't think he wants to use teleport back to top lane this time. He wants to be able to join in on these.
He's actually not gone for the reset yet. He's under tower extremely low. I feel like Lockerdon could honestly dive him at this point.
Yeah, he has the showstopper. It's very doable. Fiala would have to find a god tier stun off here. That's going to be the showstopper used. Fiala flashes away instantly, trying to dodge out, but the Facebreaker, the Haymaker, is just big enough. Lockerdon finds himself a solo kill.
Popping off. This was the matchup Fiala picked into against the set, and Lockerdon just showing up, winning out in all these trades and finding the all-in. Flash for flash as well, so he's not even down in terms of summoners. It's really solid play.
Yeah, Lockerdon had that misplay at the beginning, where he kind of jumped into the enemy jungle, but Infernal Drake's up. Tempered Fate lands onto Sloth. They do throw out that Lantern. Kicks a little bit late. A teleport being used.
A little bit early on the teleport, you could say, but ultimately it's going to help them scare this dragon and keep chaining them up. Shackle could potentially look for a steal here, but I think they want to start this one as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's already been picked up. Fiala heading over, but that's the Infernal Drake picked up, and now the Predator's been used by Flipper. He's looking for an opening. Listen. Able to jump through his Flipper. Actually gets out. They get all the damage off, and down goes Shackle.
Wait, Shackle kicked him after the Impale had got... I was thinking, did he go back to the Bard Pool? But he got kicked after the Impale had gone down, so he just dragged Shackle over the wall. That's a bit of an unlucky one.
Looks if that was unlucky or just the complete misplay. Well, Takeset's going to catch this wave. He's just quietly farming. I think that's all Takeset can do, really, at this point. Riftgeld's going to get taken away here on the top side, so Hillerød will get their hands onto that. There are no plates anymore, so this can be effectively used to get first turret blood. Takeset's trying to do something about that as he is pushing up in this bot lane. Has the bullet time if he wants to quickly clear out this wave. Lockerden's trying to come through to get some kind of an answer. Takeset actually going all in for this tower. Finds himself first turret blood. Now Lockerden trying to get the damage out onto Takeset. Takeset's just kiting him away. The bullet time comes down and Lockerden gets a massive haymaker off into a showstopper. Lockerden 1 versus 2. Finds himself the kill. But Nursing can't even finish him off here. Gets himself some more damage out. Gets the Bard portal away. And now Lockerden chasing him down. Pedersen cannot run anywhere. Lockerden 1 versus 2. An actual animal right now.
And I said they had to be careful, overcommitting for the tower, not respecting the turnaround potential of this set. The haymaker, true damage combined with the huge shield. And ultimately, they end up going down. Pedersen did his best with that portal to dodge away from the second haymaker, but it just wasn't enough. Especially when he gets low, his regen really starts to kick in.
I love the confidence of Lockerden just walks in through the bullet time, stacking grit up, and then gets a big shield to follow up with. Gets himself a kill. We do see a shutdown getting picked up there onto Sloth. Fiala's the one to find that on the Riven.
Yeah.
Takeset's now head towards this mid lane.
Lockerden in a side lane 1v2, great. Sloth in a side lane 1v2, less great.
Oh, Temper Fate. Gonna go a little bit wide. Energy looking to tether up Ermin for the moment. Pedersen gets that slow off. They do land a hook onto Takeset. Flipper flashes forward, trying to get himself someone with the combo. Ermin gets the slowdown, and they're trying to heal through. They're not going to get that damage off in time. The hook goes a little bit wide. Takeset tries to continue to punch the damage into Flipper. Doesn't have anything to work with. No bullet time. Tower fell in the top lane while that skirmish was breaking out.
Flipper's just on a mission. It feels like whenever he presses that Predator, when he uses that ult, someone goes down.
He's saying, I committed this cooldown on getting something with it.
And it just makes it so easy to coordinate these plays. They get this tower on the bot side from Lockerden. They are still down in terms of towers overall, and only slightly up in gold. Hillerød making the proactive plays, getting the kills as a reward.
Well, Fiala's going to meet up with Lockerden. Haymaker's already been used. Fiala pops the ulti. No, yes, does pop the ulti here. Showstopper into the wind slash. Fiala just solo kill, nice and easy. He's now starting to look pretty strong.
Lockerden just using the haymaker. It's like such a massive part of your fighting potential because it's the shield and the main damage that you max. And obviously, it did get nerfed on 10.3, I believe, for a longer cooldown.
It was this patch.
Yeah, so him not having that for such a long time means Fiala can find the all-in and burst through him. You saw that grit stacking up, but ultimately no way to make use of it. And Fiala finally finding some momentum in this matchup. He's up in farm now, 3-1, 2-item spike. He's in a pretty good spot.
Oh, takes it. Just got to hold mid lane here. Just need to be a little careful because Flipper can take him out, but...
Yeah, Dragon spawning up to 50, so ideally, Hillerød want to pick here. With those four together, very easy to set up for, but the response from Bifrost is to have Fiala shoving bot wave, so someone should catch that.
This is a terrifying soul if you're Bifrost. Because if you see Hillerød get Cloud Soul, you know you're in trouble. Speaking of in trouble, Pedersen, he just gets picked up, and that could be potentially Soul Point picked up as the Riftel's going to get used mid lane as well. The base is coming forward from Shackle. He's not even willing to contest this dragon.
Yeah, tower comes down. So that's a big one. Mid tower, very important. Fiala's going to keep pushing top. They get their second charge off, though, but with no wave, can't really do more. Fiala putting the pressure down, but Lockerden has recall to respond to this. Now, if Fiala backs off, he could actually potentially look for a... Well, actually, I think he's caught.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He can't teleport, can't go anywhere. Flipper has the impale, has the stun. Fiala's trying to buy some space here, but he's going to get himself stunned up, taken down, and everything that's layered on top. Fiala will fall. A shutdown for Sloth here. And now this should just be the Cloud Drake and putting the side of Hillerød onto Cloud Soul. But Energy Let's try and find a little bit of poke. Misses out on that ability.
And because mid lane was pushed so deep when they got that tower, they're only just responding with the mid lane tower. So they do get it in the end, but it's not like they're threatening the tier 2. And the reason for that is because Hillerød had obviously just pushed up extremely deep. So they trade 1 for 1 in terms of towers. They get a pick with a shutdown on the Syndra, and they get their 3rd Drake. So overall, Hillerød in a really good spot on the back of that.
Scary position, though. You're 1 away from that Cloud Soul, and suddenly the Impale becomes really horrible.
Yeah, having that speed to move backwards. And just even ignoring the fact that you get the extra movement speed on the Impale, it's just a passive movement speed. Huge for both of these teams. Both of these teams, a lot of champions are very movement speed reliant. When you look at Lockton, one of the issues with Set is getting on top of people. So he has that advantage. You look at Energy and Take Set on the Misfortune and Karma. Movement speed a big part of their kits. So definitely going to come in and be a factor. We can take a look at the gold. So Fiala pretty firmly ahead by 1,000 in that matchup thanks to the extra farm he's been able to pick up. But otherwise, the main thing I'm seeing is this discrepancy in the mid lane between Sloth and Energy. And the good thing about that is Energy is playing a supportive champion who isn't going to be as gold reliant. Cheaper item spikes for the Karma. But Syndra being strong, definitely not a good situation to be in. You can look at the item discrepancy as well. It's a Ludens and the Aether-Wisp compared to a full Ludens and a Liandry's for Sloth.
Yeah, Sloth's going to be doing a lot of damage here. Energy is kind of falling into a more supportive role, however, he has been spotted out on a ward here by Lockenden. So potentially looking for a gank, but not going to be able to find too much in Energy. That ward is completely denying Bifrost from finding anything here. So now they're going to kind of collapse up through the mid lane, through the river into the mid lane. The side of Hillerød, they just want to try and get their hands onto this top lane tier 1. Helps with the kind of vision for Dragon as well, but Fiala actually going in for Lockeden here. Dodges out, tries to get a lot of damage off. The showstopper gets used. Fiala gets himself a knock-up, gets himself taken out, and Fiala flashes away. Fiala's alive, but in comes Flipper. The shield's pretty big. Flipper is going to find himself a nice and easy kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and now Shackle, he almost gets caught out, but the Tempered Fate is fairly big here. Good stun's not going to connect, because actually there's a flash into the Impale, into everything being layered down, and down goes Pedersen. It's a 2-for-1 globally here in favor of Hillerød. Yeah,
so again, finding the pick on the board. Very little you can do once that Impale comes down if you don't have the QSS. Only Fiala the one to buy it so far. Fiala really stomping this matchup. In the later stage of the game, you can really see this is why they went for the Riven into the set, because he's dominating that 1v1. But Lockton did play it well when he used the Haymaker. The shield came in just to block all of the wind slash damage, and that bought enough time for Flipper to get over there and to pick up the kill.
And you can see Mokox has got himself the Triforce, the fully stacked Mirror Mana into just the Essence Reaver on Take Set.
Yeah, he's got the Cold Fields as well, so should likely be, could be at 40% CDR, depending on his runes, but definitely at least 30.
Takes it, however, building towards that Infinity Edge.
Actually, won't be at 40% because he's got the Inspiration boots.
Yes.
Probably at 35 or 30, depending on if he's gone Cosmic Insight or Biscuits, which I didn't see earlier. But ultimately, at a really strong point, Hillerød up in gold, setting up for this Dragon in a minute 20. That is the priority for them, getting this Cloud Soul, allowing them to facilitate those plays and look for picks even faster on the back of Flipper. And also facilitating Lockdown when those team fights do start off. So resets just come in from Bifrost. They did shove that top wave in pretty heavily, so Sloth is going to answer. You just have TP though. But Bifrost have reset, picked up their items. You see the Infinity Edge finish for Take Set, the Athenes for Energy. These are some pretty big spikes as well. And they're looking to contest this Dragon. Now, the main thing is they have to push in and contest his vision, but they've just seen Sloth show up top. They're pinging it out, and that means they know they have a numbers advantage.
Flipper gets himself caught. The Lantern's going to be used. All of the CC gets laid onto Flipper. They're trying to take down the jungler as fast as possible, but Flipper way too tanky and cut through. Fiala now onto Lockeden, just going for a light trade. Doesn't want to risk anything, doesn't want to die just before this Cloud Drake comes up.
And that control ward coming in clutch there, blocking the Lantern. It chunks Flipper out. He will be able to heal up, but his flash is now down. That's a massive tool for the Skarner.
Oh, Fiala onto Lockeden here. Gonna get some damage off. Haymaker Gonna get dodged out on the true damage, and Lockenden takes some serious poke from Fiala. Now it's Ermin. It's his chance. They get a kick onto Shackle. Shackle has to jump away. Flipper looking for that opening. Energy flashes away, but they manage to take down the jungler. Bullet time, just a slight amount of zoning as Fiala's looking for Lockenden. It's gonna get interrupted, but Fiala finds himself a kill. In comes Bidurst. Needs to try and keep his top laner alive. Fiala trying to buy some space, buy some time. Gets the stun off, and he is out of there. A 2-for-1. As Bifrost will now have the ability to step up here. Flipper takes a little bit of poke from Energy. They're just buying space, buying time, waiting for Shackle to come back up. True Shot Barrage gets used, and Sloth stepping up. He might get himself caught. Gets scattered onto 3. Sloth is going to go down. Sorry, Sloth is on a rampage. He gets a kill. Now Fiala onto that flank. Remember, this is Cloud Soul. They have to fight this. Take Set doesn't have ultimate. The Drake is resetting. Shackle's on his way down, but he's inside the base. He's miles away from joining onto this. And Ermin, he's back up. He's already here. Flipper's going to get his hands onto this. This is just Cloud Soul over to Bifrost. There's over to Hillerød. There's nothing they can do. Bifrost just getting caught over and over and over again right now.
Just overstepping. Ultimately, Shackle tries to dive too deep. You can't do that against Thresh Skarner. He gets locked up, taken down, and that is enough for Hillerød. Despite the fact Fiala making that huge play to kill Lockenden and get away, it just is not enough. Hillerød stalled for time, and they get that Cloud Soul. Now, I will say Cloud Soul, not the strongest of them. But it is powerful, and definitely for a team composition like this where movement speed is so key, you really did not want to give it over. Bifrost now pushing over towards that Baron area. They know Hillerød looking for resets. Obviously, Sloth was on the map for a long time there. He needs to reset his mana and has now grabbed a Zhonya's, so harder to be threatened by Fiala, Shackle, potentially the ult of Take Set. They still have this Riven in the side lane who's strong. It feels like Lockenden hasn't picked up an item in the longest time.
Yeah, he's been having a very, very rough go of it. Have a quick look. He's sitting on 1,300 gold right now.
Yeah, so Basis gets Caulfield's building towards a death stance for himself, but pretty behind in compared to the Riven, who had to invest into that QSS, but ultimately can use that in the fight against Lockenden to mitigate the stun. The main thing is the fact that Black Cleavage, cheaper spike, Lanham had that TM out as well, and that Death Stance already finished, coupled with the gold lead he has. Hillerød, though, feeling confident to step up in this situation.
Yeah, they get a stun off onto Sloth, but when you've got Flipper just threatening constantly, it's so hard to go in. Fiala has been seen on top of this ward, but he's looking to find Lockenden here, gets himself the knock-up. Face Breaker is going to be used, and Fiala dodging away on a lot of that damage will heal back up with his Death Stance.
Yeah, that's where things really change here. I mean, obviously the Death Stance has been available for a while for Fiala, but now when he goes for these trades, the passive of Lockenden isn't really changing the state of things because Fiala can just heal up too.
Yep, Fiala trying to turn this. Has actually got his entire team coming down. Lockenden maybe overstaying, has to get a lantern away to safety.
This is a big investment to the bot side of the map for Bifrost. They look to be threatening this tower, and they may well get it, but they don't have very much control over the Baron area.
Oh, quick lands onto a minion, and it should just be the turret picked up for Bifrost. Meanwhile, Takes It. He's looking to put some damage into Mox. It's going to get suppressed out by Flipper, but now they get the kickoff. Takes It can just kite backwards. Flipper gets stunned, and he's able to make his way out. Shackle chasing forward. Tempered Fate is not going to find his mark, and Flipper, he's tanky as hell, so he's not going to get killed here, but that was just a misstep by the Ezreal.
Way too close. And if you look at his build, he's gone for the lethality Ezreal, so a lot more burst, but in those all-in, these extended trades, you really don't hold up, especially if you can't land your Mystic shots. And now Bifrost starting the Baron up.
He's got himself that cleanse, remember. He's going to hold it for the moment. The showstopper gets used. Fiala flashes away. Unleash power to follow up. Good block out from the Death Stance for the moment. And in comes Flipper. They've got to do this now. They've got to do it quick. Bullet time's still down. Bullet time's not available. They get themselves a kill. Fiala looking to jump away. Gets the wind slash off, but the Haymaker lands onto everybody. Lockenden makes his way out of there. Baron's reset. The True Shot Barrage is going to clip up. Takes Set's very, very low. And Flipper, he's hunting. He wants this kill, but Sloth's on the flank. He just gets himself an easy double kill. Nice and simple. Teleport comes through, and Hillerød have just put the game completely in their control.
Sloth is just so good consistently in these fights. It looks like the trading has ended. It looks like everyone's trying to back off, and he finds these windows. You saw him do it towards the dragon fight for that soul, where he found the double stun into the double, and he does it again here. He is playing so well on this Syndra, and despite how close Bifrost is making it, he is the reason they got that Cloud Soul. He is the reason they got that Baron.
30 minutes on the clock. You got 1 minute 50 until that Elder Drake spawns up. And you feel like that is where this scrap is going to go. Takes it. Now finally has that QSS.
But that's
it's available to Fiala. That is the tax. But he still has a lot of damage. He has the Essence Reaver. He has the Infinity Edge. That bullet time, if undisrupted by Sloth, is going to be so impactful inside a pit.
It's 1,300 gold. He's already got expensive items in the Essence Reaver and the Infinity Edge, and that extra 1,300 gold. You can see that Mokox with that Duskblade, no armor stacked up on Bifrost.
Oh!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That burst damage from the Mystic Shots and energy down.
Oh, they used the Tempered Fate to try and buy some time, but the Cannon Minion's going to fire away. Hillerød, they might just have done this here. They're inside the base. They don't even really want to bother for the Elder Drake right now, but they are going to step away, just get some control.
I think they're going to reset. They should look to reset and head over towards that dragon. They have the Baron reset, so it can do pretty fast, but they want to keep their vision up in the bot side. They've taken energy off the map, so he's going to get in late, which means it's very hard for Bifrost to contest. But they opted not even to go for the reset. They're just holding pressure. I think Sloth is going for it. He's got enough for the Rabadons right now. Yeah, picked up the Rabadons. Huge spike for the Syndra. Level 16, so it's 3 points in that ultimate, doing a ton of damage. And Bifrost, they can't give over this Elder, but I feel like they're not going to win this fight. Fiala doesn't have flash. It makes it really hard to teamfight as a Riven. You can see they're trying to opt into this, but
they're standing close enough as well to keep these minions Baroned up, just to slow down Bifrost's shove in the lane.
And there's a Baron stats as well on top of that. Obviously, we always talk about the minions, but you get that extra AD and AP. A bit more combat power on top of the 4,400 gold lead right now for Hillerød. Clearing out the vision. Elder is up. This could well be it. And you look at the item difference. It's only really Fiala who's coming out ahead over his counterpart. Without a flash, it's hard to play this Riven in the team fights. I mean, it's going down so fast. They need to contest this.
Yeah, they need to find it now. But the Predator, the Skarner just zoning everybody on Bifrost away. Baron is, Drake. Half health for the moment. This Elder could be so big. Mokox is taking a lot of damage because he was the one starting it up.
They won the fight,
doing a good job to keep him away.
That's the big thing. They don't want a 50-50 where they don't want to flip it. They're ahead. They just need to maintain control. Mokox did get chunked out. Remember, without a Blade of the Rune King, he doesn't have that lifesteal normally afforded to him, but he still has some. So he'll heal up. Things calming down. But Hillerød's still posturing.
Flipper looking for something onto Fiala. But remember, Fiala has that QSS. Makes him a pretty hard target to grab. Shaco also looking for a kick. If he can find Sloth, if he can find his opening, it could be big. Lockwood gets a face breaker off. Fiala able to disengage slowly but surely. Bifrost are wasting out the Baron timer here.
Sidewaves favor Hillerød in this situation. Bots pushing in, tops pushing in. And then it's gonna... I think it's been recognized by Bifrost. They have to respect it. The waves were pushing in the side lane. There's a huge wave crashing top, and Hillerød is just able to move here and take down this tower. Bifrost have to back off to react to this. Hillerød can keep going, or they can go in for the dragon right now, but it looks like they're just gonna keep pushing for the base. Bifrost needed TP energy in.
Fiala trying to collapse in, but that's gonna be the end of that inhibitor. Lockwood's taking some damage, but a lantern out will keep him safe. Fiala on the flank, spotted out on the pink ward. Scan of the Weak does connect. In comes the Tempered Fate, flashed away by Sloth. No way to close that gap, and Bifrost, they just lose an inhibitor for free here. They're kind of rolling over and dying in this game.
Really good read from Hillerød there, though, to adapt and move over and apply that pressure. Elder's still on the table, but Flipper.
Just be careful, gets slowed down, but these lanterns are so big for them.
Dodged away from the stun there. Sloth actually going for a reset just to pick up a blasting wand. I'm not sure that was really necessary, but he's pretty high on mana before that.
They're looking to start this out. Two-shot barrage has been thrown down. Hillerød Going to try and contest this here for the moment. Takes it inside the pit, has flash, has heal. Fiala jumps onto the backline, gets caught out by the showstopper. The bullet time's fairly big. Zones Mokox away. Redemption will heal him up, and Sloth is legendary as he takes out Pedersen. Shackle will fall to Mox. That's a second one for him. They are just going to run through Take Set and Energy as a scatter the week is going to be landing down. A flash out by Energy. Take Set has to try and make a miracle happen, but look at the damage that this Ezreal is pumping into them. The Elder has taken, and Mokox will find himself a gift of the Elder execution here. Hillerød have demolished Bifrost in this team fight. Bifrost just looked unable to respond to anything that Hillerød were able to do in this game, and Flipper just running forward. The True Shot Barrage will not be enough to find himself and execute off, and Energy going to be able to heal up, but that is not going to be enough. 35 minutes on the clock. Hillerød take out Bifrost.
And Hillerød continued their winning streak 4 in a row now, considering this is a team who went 0-2 in week 1. And they're now putting on such a solid performance. Sloth in particular has been an absolute monster. At the start of the split, I sort of saw him as a player who's leaning heavily on these melee champions, not having the biggest impact on them, trying, but sometimes, like there was a game against Dusty where it came down to a split decision to get them in the game. But when he's on a ranged champion who scales pretty well into the game, he just ends up being a monster. And that's not to criticize his melee champion play. Just I feel like he's good at every point of the game. When he's on a champion that scales in that manner, he's so strong. His Syndra play there, excellent. He's the reason they got Soul. He's the reason that they got that Baron. But the whole team was playing pretty solidly throughout.
I would say that he was the reason they won that game, to be fair. The whole team obviously were playing well around him, but 11-1-5 on the Syndra, looking just really, really stellar. Constantly zoning and catching out the key members. That's the key thing here was Bifrost were looking a little all scattered, a little all over the place. They were getting caught in weird ways, and they didn't seem to have an answer. Like that Fiala pick in the Riven into Lockerdin's set, like at the start we went, oh, this is bad. But actually he started to pull that back. But the problem is the rest of the team weren't finding their advantages. You have a Karma mid who obviously isn't going to outpush a Syndra.
Yeah.
And then obviously is there to kind of enable someone like Take Set. But Takes It on the MF isn't really going to use that MF, use the buffs getting given to him as quite as effectively.
I think the big thing for me was the Thresh. I think they should have denied that. We talked about it in the draft. They had an opportunity to ban it away. I think that combined with the immobility of Syndra and the synergy with Skarner, it meant that even when these Tempered Fates were coming down from Pedersen that set up plays, Lantern just comes in, denies it.
Yeah.
Even when it would look like Flipper maybe overextended to go for an Impale, there's always that Lantern to get him out. And if you go back over that game and look at the amount of times a Lantern saved someone, you got to think, right, what if that Lantern wasn't there? What if that play actually worked for Bifrost? And it could have been a very different game. Sloth had an amazing performance, 11-1-5, but he definitely would have had more deaths if he didn't have that safety net.
And we look at the bans that were actually there instead of that Thresh. It was a Kiana and a Aurelia. Obviously targeting out Sloth because they know he likes to play these kind of champions. But I felt like something like the Aurelia, you probably could have afforded just to leave open because you honestly doubted they were actually going to give that to him.
Yeah, and I feel like, for me, I feel like Sloth, at the start of the split, there was this sort of view of him that he was, leaning heavily on these melee champions. It's what Bifrost won out against them as a result of, because they had that 4 melee composition, and Vigor just beat that out in the later stage of the game. But Sloth has shown, since Hillerød's been on a winning streak, he's a lot more diverse. His Corki has been really strong. His Syndra here, really monstrous. I think there was definitely an avenue to punish the Thresh pick that would have potentially put Bifrost in a better stead, but that's not the only reason. And I think Hillerød playing really well and well deserving of their 4-win streak at the moment. That puts them in 3rd.
Yeah, it does put them quite comfortably in 3rd. Dusty and Bifrost are now tied. So Bifrost, they're going to have to do some work, but they are up against Vipers coming up next week. So it's going to be a very, very exciting game for them to see if they can take that win once again, because Vipers, they beat them pretty convincingly in the last time we saw them play. So I'm going to be excited to see what goes down in that game. But let's have a little look at next week's matches to see what we got coming up on the Sunday. So we're starting off with Hillerød versus Vipers. Then it's Hybrid versus Bifrost. Atlanta taking on Dusty. And Nordic taking on Team Singularity.
So a lot of interesting games. I think game 1, when we first started the split, Hillerød vs Vipers didn't exactly scream excitement, but now I am so hyped for it. 2nd and 3rd place teams, both them on huge upswings. Vipers looking solid, only challenged by Singularity and Bifrost, and Hillerød on that 4-win streak. When will it stop?
When will it stop? It may never stop. We'll have to find out. But thank you very much for tuning in today for the Nordic Championship. We'll be back on Sunday, same time, same place. So until then, we'll see you later and good night.